Good morning. I'm trying to find us. Probably right here. Yep, right here. Hey, guess what? It's flannel season. I love flannel season. I should do a whole page dedicated to flannel season. Okay, did I add that? Yes, I did. So now how do I get rid of that? Why is it not going away? It says that it's sent. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know. Let's go back to here. Ah, there we go. Okay, we're here. Good morning. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, everybody. Painted my nails last night. They need a coat of shiny something on the top. But that's that. And we're here, and it's 7:59, and we are ready to rock and to roll. What should we talk about today? I don't have any ideas. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Hi, Lita. It's Monday. I had a really good weekend. Went to a great concert. Emmylou Harris and a lot of amazing humans. Had a fun time in San Francisco with my buddies. Shopped at Maidu, the Japanese pen store, and spent a lot of money on inks. I bought this sparkly ink stuff. It says Healing Light for the Witch of the North. I don't know who made it. Here's the little tag. But it's been fun to play with. It's made by Warengall Glitter Potion. Loved it. Love it. So I bought that. I bought 2 new pens. I bought 3 new pens, but I can't find the other one. I put it somewhere. And I don't know. Oh, there it is. I bought this new pen. Nothing better than buying new pens, you know? Especially when life seems to just when life keeps throwing you craziness. What would Lucy and Ethel do? They would buy a new pen. Hold on. I'm going to try to get some pens in order here. Oh, that didn't really work. And I bought a bunch of glaze pens online because they were out of them, and glaze pens are being discontinued. So I found glaze pens at craftwarehouse.com. That's where I would suggest buying them from, because Amazon is out, Blick is out, Jerry's Artorama is out, everybody's out. But glaze pens, go get yourself some. All right, what should we talk about today? Let's talk about a shameless plug. And that would be for creatorofcuteness.com. That would be the shameless plug of the day. Because you can find out about Journal Play Day there. You can find out about our creative book club there. You can find out about the books there, the collage elements there. Do you know that I have books on creative hand lettering? I do. And I have classes on creative hand lettering. And it's just so much fun in the way of lettering. There's so much there. So this weekend, we finished our giant book for the creative book club that we started last November. we worked on October, and our word of the month is enchantment. I had a lot of fun doing that, just gold and black. And then, let's see what I got here. I haven't finished yet. I did this quote, listen with the ear of your heart. I can't remember who told me this, but one of you guys told me this quote, and I really, really like it. My feet are cold. I should have put on socks. And then I used some of my new inks here. Golden Snitch, Eye of Newt, Purple Haze, Witching Hour, and Halloween Skies. I have not finished this book, however, but this will at least show you what I've been doing all weekend. I drew Halloweenville. I really like it. I drew pumpkins and a bird. I don't really like it, but, you know, it's done. And then this is where my collage page is going to go. I drew this witch, and I really like her. It says, she hoped her dreams would take her far beyond the stars. And then I drew this pumpkin girl, and I really like her. And it says, Leatrice always dressed for success. Because she did. Gretchen says, glaze pens are at Craft. Oh, Craft Warehouse with a C. Craft Warehouse with a C. But you can search them. There might be other spots. I just wanted a 2-pack. It cost me $10 for the shipping, but I did not want to miss out on getting them. I was afraid. Every other site that I went to for the black glaze pens, it said that they were completely in stock, and then I would add it to the cart and it would not let me buy it because they were out of stock. Anyway, that is my book for the creative hand, or no, this is for the, creative book club. Super fun. I always like doing those 3 pages. I may continue to do that. So this is what I've been doing all weekend, and since Carmen is here, I want to share it with Carmen. I'm going to start at the beginning and just share the whole book. This is where we started last week. We did a Dracula quote with a collage element, so it's creepy cute. Then I did a Frankenstein quote, which I love this Frankenstein more than I can say. Creepy cute. Then on I don't know what day, I just didn't feel like getting up or doing anything, so I looked up another quote, not on our sheet. I did Bride of Frankenstein, and it says, I myself am entirely made of flaws stitched together with good intentions. And I have some asemic writing here. I used all my new inks. Super fun. And then this is what we're going to do today. Then back here is where I've been working on some of my stuff and stuff from Karen Campbell, from Karen Campbell's class. So this was from Karen Campbell's class. This was from Book Club, Karen Campbell's class, Don't you love this bat? And I love this quote. Well, this one says, shadows of 1,000 years rise against unseen voices, whispers in the breeze, 'tis near Halloween. I do love that quote. And this one says, darkness falls across the land, the midnight hour is close at hand. And then I did this girl because she had us drawing a zombie boy, and I did not like it. It was too creepy for me. So hers was Oozy McGoozy, and I did Oozy Schmemily McGoozy. This is Schmemily. And it says, ghosts and goblins, spooks galore, scary witches at your door, jack-o'-lanterns smiling bright, wishing you a haunting night. And then I did her witch that she had us doing. I forget her name. But it says, 'tis now the very witching time of night when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out of contagion to this world. William Shakespeare. I mean, come on. That page is cool. And then she had us doing a mummy, So I did my own mummy. It got really dark really fast, so I had to add in some white. But I hope you can see the gold. That's that gold ink that I bought. And it is super fun. Let me tell you again. It's this stuff. It's called Healing Light. It was $20. And it's by, wish I could read this better. Wearingeal, I think. It's in Chinese, so it's hard to read. That's it, I think. This one says, she is always ready for the party, dressed in her finests, complete with her hat and handbag. She has a fascinator. It's fascinating. And then this was inspired by Denise Albright, who's part of our group here, but she's also part of Rue's crew. And she posted an ink, what looked to me like an ink bottle, and so with dead flowers. So I like to give credit where credit is due. I copied Denise Albright, did my own ink bottle with dead flowers. I'm not done with this page. This was my morning wake up this morning. But the back part of this book is where I'm doing stuff on my own. And the front part of this book is where we're working. So I couldn't decide what quote I wanted to do today, so I figured let's start at the top. Oh, Carmen says wearing geel. W-E-A-R-I-N-G, wearing, G-E-U-L. That's the name of that ink company. All right, so I decided to do Nightmare Before Christmas because it's at the very top of the page. And it says, what's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. So I decided to use some of these color pages that I have, scraps of papers. I don't know what we'll do yet, but we're going to do color, I think. And we're going to do washi tape. And we're going to make a bow. And I bought this cool thing. It's just a little watercolor board. I wish I had bought more now, but I think it'll be really cool to attach to a page with my quote on it or a drawing. And we're going to use a piece of cellophane bag. But before we do that, I want to make a card really quick because I can. Because we have not been doing cards as much. Susie says, Denise's art is always fun and fabulous. I know. Every time I see it, I love it. I don't see it as much because I don't go looking for it. But Denise has posted some stuff here as well, and her art she's very talented. She did a zombie, B-E-E, and I think I'm going to try to draw a zombie. Get it? B-E-E. But I don't know. This is crooked. And that's okay. Hi, Mary Lynn. Wow, that couldn't have turned out any better. I just grabbed these scraps out of my bin. I didn't cut them or anything. I did tear them, but I didn't cut them. And then I just want this. Bye, Carmen. Carmen's here and gone. Okay, so I just have a piece of washi, a scrap of paper, and a scrap of paper. Nothing much. Nothing much. And I just want to use this cute little mushroom girl. Except that I glued that down pretty tight. And that's all I want to do. I'm not even sure I'm going to glue her down right now. I'm just going to leave her hanging in there. She'll probably glue down anyway because of the... And I don't want to write anything. I am going to use this tiny scrap because we use everything. And this is the scrap from that. I don't have a scrap from that brown because I used it all. And I don't have another mushroom, really, to glue on my envelope. But this is how I make cards, you guys. Do you know why? Because unless you're sending to a card maker, most people could care less how much time you put into a card. They just go, is that cute? And then they use it. And then that's done. Where can I get that book you're working on? Let me get you a link, Carlene. I was going to say Carmen. Hang on. Dilutions Creative Journal. They have it on Amazon, but you can get it wherever, you know. Here's the book. It's a big link. Okay, I want some of this color on there. Just a few of these colors. Kind of weird with that blue peeking through, but it's not horrible. Well, I'm going to embrace it and add the blue in here. Weird blue. But that gives the colors of my mushy girl. Mushy, mushy girl. And then we have an envelope that's ready to go with our card. I owe my pen pal a letter. And it might just end up being a card because I haven't felt like writing lately. All right, so there's our card and there's our envelope. Perfect. Easy peasy. Okay, another card. All right, here's what I wanted to do today. I want to take black because that's all I'm using is black lately. And I've got this cellophane bag, right? I'm going to take black. I'm going to paint this cellophane bag. Then I'm going to spray it, hopefully. I have a spray bottle right here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to mush it down. And I'm going to pull it up. It worked. I'm very delighted with it. Let's try it again. I don't need a whole lot more ink. Just more water. Oops, and I got more on the other side of the page. This is our mixed media for today. I'm going to pick up that ink and move it over here because I don't want as much on this side as I have on that side, but I think I need a little bit more. So you can do this with cellophane, you can do this with tin foil, you can do this with a self-healing mat, whatever you want to do it with. And you just want to smear it around as you go. And you get a cool background that's just not totally full. Okay, I'm happy. I could keep going and going and going, but that's all I want to do. Just that. So when you buy stickers or papers or embellishments, you usually get these cellophane bags, right? They're pretty cool for doing this kind of thing with. And then you can throw it away or you can keep it. That is not black ink, Valerie. That is watercolor. Just watercolor. See? Watercolors. I think that's my watercolor from my watercolor set, but I can't be sure. Is that how you did the background with the gold ink? No, I painted that gold ink, and I painted the background, I painted the gold ink on. We're gonna dry this one pretty much first. Uh-oh, I got black on the other page. While this is drying, let me go back and show you the page that she's asking about. This one here with this gold ink, I painted this background with mostly watercolor and water. No, back up. Mostly watercolor and water, very little color. And then I went through and I painted on the gold afterwards. But we got to get this dry before we could continue. Yeah, a lot of paint right in there. But I do like how it gives us a background pretty nicely. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of mixed media today, because honestly, I have been having more fun drawing and lettering than I have been mixed media-ing. So we'll see what happens. I need some black. I don't have black. I have a large piece of black paper. I do. So our quote today is from Jack Skellington. And I don't ever feel really comfortable about creating an entire stolen piece of art from somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to draw Snoopy, if that makes sense. But I could look at Snoopy and do something inspired by Snoopy or Charles Schulz that looks kind of like a Snoopy, but it's my own Snoopy. Does that make sense? I got to cut this down. Well, these are still wet. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie says, I love this background. Maybe I'll put some purple in here real quick. Because you know why. Because I can. And then spritz just a little. And then smoosh. Just a tiny bit of purple. And I've seen people put this down and let it sit and dry. I don't really want to do that. I want it to dry quicker. I think I need a darker purple. That's a pretty light purple. I've been waiting to do this background for a few days. I was going to say a really long time, but that ain't true. Just a few days. Okay, well, that's super cool. And you guys never know what's going to happen with this until you put it down. So you really can't plan a whole lot. I'm going to leave it because I love that splatter right there. So now I have a purple and black background. And we just have to dry it, which is the part that's going to take the most time. But then we're going to draw a Lindsay-inspired Jack Skellington. But you could keep adding color and color and color. Because the quote that I'm using today is what? Find it. It says, "What's this? What's this? There is color everywhere." I kind of love that Jack Skellington quote. And then there's also a secondary quote that says, "I am the Pumpkin King." So I might do both of those on here. Haven't decided. We got to get this page dry. It's sometimes fun too to go through and do your backgrounds in your book first, or your whatever it is you're working in. Do your backgrounds first and then come back and let the background inspire you. But I'm not doing that. This one's still wet. I think we're dry. All right. I just wanted kind of a half of a circle. I'm not quite sure where I want this yet. But we're going to leave that. I also want to use this, but this may just have the quote on it. I haven't decided yet, but these, I wish I could tell you what this is, but I think it's a watercolor board. It was $1.40 and it's not very thick, but I do love the gold rim around it, and I may or may not use it. I haven't got that far. So let's do Jack, or Lindsay Jack. Lindsay inspired Jack. This might be big enough. Is this big enough? I think that might be big enough. You like this text? Like this, Stephanie? Asemic text. I wrote over this twice, so you couldn't read a thing. Because when I wrote it the first time, you could still read through it, and I did not want anybody to be able to see what I said. Because pretty personal. All right, let's look at Jack. And a pencil. Jack and a pencil. So he has a very roundish kind of head, but not totally. And then he has kind of sunken skeleton eyes, but again, not totally. I don't like his nose, so I'm going to give him an upside down heart. Let's come down. And then, of course, I love his mouth. I draw that all the time for Halloween. And then he has a very skinny neck. And I also love his bow tie, but I'm going to make it a bat wing. So a little bit different. And then he has a jacket on, but I think he's going to be a girl. I don't know. I kind of want a girl. Definitely buttons here. And I'm going to flare out this jacket. And definitely skinny legs. And I'm in love with these really large feet that I learned from Karen Campbell. I love them. And super skinny arms. And claws for fingers. All right, so the only thing I don't like... Oh, Stephanie, question again. These were actual words. This was like a journaling page for me. I actually journaled here. And you just write really fast. Like, I can almost read this. She, something meant to... I don't know what the rest is. I wish I had done him a little over, because I wish that wing was... Okay, so the only thing I don't like is his head. I guess he's going to get a bat in his head because I've really enjoyed drawing bats recently. And you can do wings both ways with bats recently. You could do them not recently. You could do a bat wing that goes like this and then scallops, or you could do one that goes like this, inverted and exverted. I don't know what that word is. Does that make sense? And he's going to get some crazy hair because I don't want him to look exactly like Jack Skellington. I want him to look more like Lindsay Skellington. All right, I have 2 pens. One, I wrote the word water-based on it, but it's wearing off. I think what I'm going to do, and I don't like to do this, but I'm going to put this piece of washi tape on the one that is pigment ink, because I have one that has pigment ink and then one that has water-based ink. Okay. And I didn't take my beta blockers this morning just so that I could draw kind of, whatever you call it, shaky bakey. All right, his eyeballs, his nose is a heart. We don't really have to worry about the, the mouth, because this is all going to get watered down. I don't even know. This is probably not the best paper. I think I grabbed cardstock. So we may end up with mostly these scribbles, but it's really not a problem. I'll try it here in a second. See if the water takes this and runs with it. But it's a matter of scribbling. It's really a matter of scribbling. And then let's see if I can make it run. Yes. Not exactly how I wanted, but it will run. No, it's pretty close. I don't want to do the whole thing right yet. But anyway, you see what happens, right? When you put water to this cool pen, it gets funky. Okay, so let's continue. Where you want it darker, you can sketch a little bit of darkness. Oh, darkness. You know, he kind of looks like H.R. Pufnstuf, which is okay by me. We're going to do some really long, whatever you call those things. Bat wings. I think. Anyway, super scribbly. Nothing has to be straight. I always forget, and I try to draw straight lines, and I'm like, no, I really don't need to do that. Just sketchy, crazy sketchy, crazy sketchy. Some claws here. And then our feet. Or legs, I guess these are feet. Yesterday my daughters took me to one daughter took me to the Taylor Swift movie. I went, not a big Taylor Swift fan, not fan, just not a fan. Do you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate her, but I'm not a huge fan. It was actually pretty good. And we went to a movie theater where you sit and you can get food. So, you know, when there's food involved, I will say yes every time. And the main reason I went was, well, to be with my daughter and daughter-in-law, but also because we had to go to Trader Joe's and I needed milk. And so afterwards we went to Trader Joe's, and their whole, everything that was cold, everything was in the trash. They had a power outage in just that area, not the whole store, just the food section, frozen food and regular food, just cold food. So had to go somewhere else. All right. So once it dries, you can go back over it and kind of smooth stuff out if you want, or shaky it up if you want. And then your black lines will be in there. I like it very sketchy. I don't think I want water on his hair or her hair. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, ready? Ready, set, go. I'm going to take and erase. I can erase the mouth because I can go back over it later, but I don't really want any pencil lines in there, even though they'll probably disappear when I put water on. And I have to admit one thing. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. Sorry. I think I've seen parts of this movie, but I don't think I've seen this movie. I did watch a horrific show this weekend that was like a train wreck. I could not stop watching it, and I'm almost embarrassed to even tell you what I watched. It was called Monster, and it was the Ed Gein story. And I'm so sorry that I'm telling you that I watched it, because it was bad. If anybody else watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. The tricky part, yeah, it's cold here. The tricky part is getting the water here, but not tons of water. If you get too much water, it becomes very black very quickly. So the key is to add a little bit of water. If you had a water brush, it might be easier, but I just don't feel like going to get it. So the more water you add, the darker it's going to get. You know what I mean? I had to get rid of my picture of Jack Skellington that I was looking at. So if you want it dark, you're just going to add more water. I try to go light with the water to begin with, unless I want it completely black out, like those wings. I don't need a lot of light coming through there. And then what I really like about it is I can go back with my permanent pen and add in more. Oh, the mouth is coming, Pamela. I erased it. I didn't need it in there in pencil. I know how to make a line mouth. And that, my friends, is our Jack Skellington. That's the whole kit and caboodle. I guess I'll add some of this hair in here. Let's blow dry this. I got erasure all over the place. I do love the bat in his head a lot. All right, so now I'm going to close this pen, which is not my pigment ink pen. This one that has the washi tape is my pigment ink. This is why I think he looks like Puffin Stuff. HR, Puffin Stuff. Who's your friend when things get rough? HR, Puffin Stuff. Can't get a little, but you can't get enough. I do like his crazy hair. And we're just going to go back over everything and kind of darken it up if we want it darker in certain places, and scribble it up if we want it more scribbly in certain places. You know? I wanted him to come together pretty quickly because it's the lettering that we're focusing on this month. You know? And I love this scribbly bat. I also love not coloring it in all the way, so you get a little bit of white showing through in all your scribbly. All right, so I think we're ready here to cut him out. Let's come up. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. That's all I know from this movie. And I know there's a cute dog. I should have done the dog. This is Halloween. Not really excited about Halloween this year. Yet. I guess I should say yet. It probably will happen, but not yet. Do you guys like these pens where you can scribble scrabble and get kind of a bleeding look? I've been using them on every single thing that I've done this season so far. Even cute things, I'm using them on. You should try them. We've tried before those elegant writer pens from Speedball. Does anybody remember when we tried those? The problem with those is that they dry out very quickly. And fountain pen ink is always going to be inky, you know? So it'll always do this little cool trick. The Speedball pens, unless you have a brand new one, they don't always work so well. But they do turn very cool colors because of the dye-based ink. If you've never tried a Speedball Elegant Writer, I can recommend you try it, but honestly, if it just sits in your stash, it's not going to last real long. Anybody else go see the Taylor Swift movie? I haven't heard a word from any of you guys about it. I mean, I don't really get her lyrics. Either I'm too old, I don't know. There were a couple that inspired me, like in one of her songs. I'll show you in a second. Oh, I wish I could even explain. A lot of her music right now on this album has overtones or undertones from other artists. And she fully tells you that that song came from the Jackson 5 songs, or that song came from George Michael. Bugsy, you're in trouble with me, so don't even growl. Don't even make it like you want to see me. Anyway, I don't mean to be critical, because I do think she's super talented. Okay, we're going to cut into this arm here and get this white out. So all I did was I cut in straight away on this arm. And you can do this when you have lettering. And you need to get the center out of a D or a B or a O. And then when you glue this back down, this part is just going to attach to there. I think we'll put him over here. All right, so I do want some color. So I think I'm going to use these strips. And I'm going to use some of this. Not much. I mean, this was paper that Atticus wiped his brush on. And I could not throw it away because I'm like, that's cute. I'll make cute paper out of it. I want some other circles, so I'm just going to cut into this paper and get some other colorful circles. My dogs have become very needy. He makes me smile too, Arlene. Arlene, oh my gosh, your arms. That picture of your two arms, I can't even believe you did that. It looks so painful. And I can imagine one arm, but both. Arlene tripped over her grandson's backpack. And let me tell you what, it looks freaking painful. All right, let's just start gluing this down because I don't really know what I'm doing. These may have to be skinnier. They're pretty big. Yeah, Bugsy pooped in the house this morning. She is on my list. I'm waiting for some bells to come so that I can start training them with bells. I thought I had some reindeer bells in my house, but I don't want to get into the Christmas stuff right now, so I ordered some bells. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Remember we drew on the back of him? I drew your little bat wings. This is all hard because the points on the bat wings need to get glued down or they will pop up. So all these little nooks and crannies here of hair and bat wings have to get glue on them. And I definitely want to put these down. This has a big fold in the middle of it. But don't care. Do it like that. This one's going to go up top. like that. Whoops, wrong side. This one's going to go down here. I think we'll cut part of it off. And I kind of think 3 is enough. I could use one more. I'm just sliding it underneath here. Okay, everything has got glue on it. This gets cut. Let's talk about these here. So what's our quote? What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. So I kind of want it on these. But let's tear them. They're too wide. Harleen, you don't want to know all the things my husband has to do for me. Well, I can imagine, because when my husband had his broken neck, I had to do things that were not in our wedding vows for my husband. You know. I think I may or may not use those. Kind of love this. Wish I hadn't turned my... I'm going to go downstairs today and get some metallic watercolors, because I definitely want more metallics on these pages. And I definitely want something on that black. So I'm thinking a glaze pen for some little details. I watched a girl yesterday who does lettering who was pretty much crying over the fact that she can't get glaze pens anymore. But she did a really cool tree for fall, and she had black paper and did black details on black with the glaze pens. It was beautiful. This one's, well, it's all right. Yeah, for better or for worse, exactly. You know, if you're going to wipe somebody's butt, that it's for better or for worse. I didn't mind, actually. All right, so let's find Oy vey. All right, let's first do this glazy stuff. See how well it shows up. It shows up really good. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see. Can you see that glaze on there? They didn't go out of business, Karen. They just stopped making glaze pens. Sakura, of all the ridiculous things in the world, right? Like, why would they stop making glaze pens? I mean, they're the best. I don't use them as often as I should, would, could. I don't know. But I do love them so much. So try Craft Warehouse. I know they have them in stock. Tell them Lindsay sent you. Not that they care. But anyway, I think there were a couple of other places, but the other places I found were harder to order from. You know. Whoops. I'm making a mess of that page. Oh well, the fun is doing it. Okay, well that's cool. I hope you can see it. Fix this guy. And while we're at it, I think we'll take the glaze pen and make his bat wings kind of glazy. It is much darker black. And then we'll do our lettering. I'm going to do the inside of his HR Puffin Stuff eyes. And nose. Those are all going to be glazy. Okay. Yep. Well, the craft warehouse that I ordered from is still in business, Rebecca. They might be in Washington. Just putting some glaze in some of these. Continuing the glaze a little bit. A little bit. All right. So, I mean, I could play with this background for days, but we want to do our quote, which is, what is this? We're going to need a lot of glaze. What is this? What is this? I have a local in-person lettering class the end of this month if anybody wants to come. It's in Fair Oaks, California at the Parks and Rec Center. My daughter's best buddy just got the job as a, I don't know what the job is. She's like a class coordinator or something for their classes and their events. And she wasn't able to get very many people to sign up to teach classes when she first started working. So she asked me if I would teach like 6 classes, and I said, no, for sure no. I'm not going to do 6 classes, but I said I'll do 2. So I have a lettering class the end of this month, creative hand lettering, where we will be doing this kind of writing, as well as some basic Broadway and practical printing and cursive. And then I have a holiday cards and tags class, which I'm kind of looking forward to, believe it or not. Normally, cards are not my forte, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yes, Gretchen says Craft Warehouse 2-pack, $6.95 plus $10.95 to ship. So I bought a couple of other things to make the shipping okay. Because yeah, $10.95 to ship is a lot, but if you can justify getting a few other items, I got some thread. Can't remember what I got. But I couldn't find anywhere else. I think there are other places that still have them, but I was panicking. So last night was the full moon. Did you guys see it? Did you put out your watercolor water? Did you? It was beautiful full moon. Like really big. It was the hunter's moon, I think they call it. Do you know what's so good about the glaze pen is that it dries raised and very shiny black. Normally I don't like shiny, but I do. I did kind of like it in his wings. I don't know, kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. My husband had a sleep study 2 weeks ago, and this week we get the results. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be living with a CPAP machine. It's funny, he had a sleep study done when he was much younger, and it came back that he needed a CPAP machine. And there was no way he was getting one. And he survived this long without it. But now that he's older, feeling mortality, he wants it. There is color everywhere. I hope the word everywhere fits. Do you remember where this was in the movie? Because I don't. I never watched the whole thing. We talked about that. Bugsy, what are you eating? Stop! Hold on. Oh, that's your food. Go ahead, eat that. Go ahead, eat that, Bugsy. All right. I do like this page a lot. I like the little bit of color peeking out everywhere. Bugsy's been eating a lot of paper recently, and I'll turn around and she will have like a full sheet of $2 12 by 12 paper or whatever. So I am needing to learn to put stuff away better. Part of my problem. I think this part of the movie is where he goes into like the normal area of the world and there's color, and he came from a black and white world. Is that right? I don't know. That last line is my favorite lettering of yours. This one, there is color everywhere. It's called thickened script. And it's really easy to do. This is the same. It's just that you're thickening up your lettering. And you could do it with whatever kind of lettering that you do. So that it's pretty simple once you get the trick of the thickening part. And it's hard to even explain because most of the time it's on the left-hand side of the letter. But on this one, you're doing it a little bit on the left and the right side of the letter. And it kind of comes down to a point. You start thick and then come down to a point, if that makes sense. Much easier to see it when I have the camera down low. And if I was teaching a lettering class at the moment. But it is easy to do. You just have to take the time to thicken everything up. So we're just going to put the Pumpkin King down here. Because it's not exactly Jack Skellington in the picture. Should I put his name? Maybe. Because it still looks like H.R. Pufnstuf to me. Jack Skellington. Okay. Let's look. I do think I want some sparklies. It's like a silver kind of color. Yes, faux cursive. Yes, Arlene, that's what it is. Faux cursive. I have my water is kind of pinkish black, so it turned this white sparkly into pinkish black. But that's okay. I want a lot of sparkles. I want it to sparkle pop. All right, let's see what happens when we put some in here. Oh, okay, love this. Gonna have to do all of it now. I'm just filling these circles with this iridescent white, sparkly inside our, whatchamacallit? Glaze pen. That's the word, glaze pen. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Yesterday at the movie theater, I got a pizza. And I can tell you something. Nothing better than sitting and watching a movie with food. Like, I probably would have stayed awake during Harry Potter, which I did not, if I had food. And I don't mean popcorn, because I can eat popcorn super fast and be done with it, but this pizza lasted a long time. It was great. It's not drying as pretty as when it's wet, but it's okay. It's not horrible. One more circle. Did I get them all? I did. Let's dry this. And the only other thing I want is a bow tie. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see these once they're dry. But I do think I want a couple of other things. I want these circles. They're supposed to be starting road work on our street today to bury all the power lines, which is super exciting. but I haven't heard a peep out of trucks or anything. Maybe they're starting down at the other end. Okay. This is with that water-soluble pen. Hi, Chris. So we can take and smear it around. And now my water has sparkles in it. So it's really cool. I think I'm good now. I think I'm happy. I really like this. Got a lot of water here though. But I think I'm going to need a little bit of gold. I also bought, did I already tell you guys this? I bought a refill for my Gansai Tombe red gold color. I just bought a refill. And man, it's cool. And a little bit goes a long way. Don't need a whole lot of gold. What you do need is a bigger brush to get bigger plops. Bigger plops of gold. There we go. I like it now. Okay. Should see my water. It's very messy. You hold it up while it dries. Can you see the gold? It's really cool. It's like a bronzy kind of gold. Don't want it right there. I'll try to get rid of that. And I do think I want a little more of that water-based ink to spread. So give me a moment. We're just going to put some weird little swirly things in here. Not too many. I don't know why. But I like them, and I think when we hit them with the water, it's going to look pretty cool. Maybe. You never know. We're going to go with a lot of water. Oh, it's not really moving it. Maybe because my water's too dirty? Oh, did I use the wrong pen? I did. Dork. Oh well, I used the wrong pen. So we'll just take the other pen that is water soluble and go over this. Although it's still really wet. Meh. This is the water soluble one, right? Lord have mercy. This is all just too wet in here. Carol says the quote reminds her of something Cat in the Hat would say. He is a little bit Cat in the Hat-ish. The Pumpkin King. Oh well. It's not smearing the way I want it to. So we'll just leave it. Maybe I'll come back to it. It's okay, I like it. It's okay. I like it. All right, we're going to look at this here in a second. Okay, so let's check off this quote. We did Nightmare Before Christmas. What's this? What's this? Oh, I wrote, what is this? Oh, well, he said, what's this? What's this? There is color everywhere. And then he wrote, I am the Pumpkin King. Or he said, I am the Pumpkin King. But that's what we did today. So we made kind of a Jack Skellington, but kind of not. We used lots of gold and sparkles and a glaze pen. I hope you can see all that. The sparkles are down here with the glaze pen. And then watercolor and some scraps and then more glaze pen over here. And that's it. I gotta go. It's 9:15. Holy Toledo. No wonder my dogs are kind of going crazy with me. They gotta go potty. All right. Have a really good day, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I have no idea what we're doing, but it'll be something on this page. I'll take a picture of this and share it with everybody. And that's it for today. All right? Sawdite? Sawdite. All right. Have a good one, you guys. Love you. Bye.